What's up, everyone? I'm Darren Rivera, and this is Me and Your Pops. It's a show about fatherhood. Every week, I sit down with a dad from all walks of life. We talk about parenting, relationships, mess-ups, recovery, mental health, and everything in between. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes it hits us in the heart, but all the conversations are real. Being a father of two girls that are 20 years apart, and just throughout my life, I've met some amazing fathers, and I just wanted to give them an opportunity to tell their story, to relate to them, and just show different experiences that we go through. So I created the show, and I think you're going to enjoy getting to know these guys. They're great dads. Welcome to Me and Your Pops. Brian and I have ADHD. And I think you're going to hear that pretty quickly in this conversation. We bounce around, we interrupt each other, we laugh. I laugh a lot. And we go down rabbit holes. But yet somehow we find our way back to the original question. I think what I love about this conversation is that Brian's a comedian, dad, podcaster, Lego builder, and a friend that I've known for 20 plus years. And even though we have the ADHD detours and laughs, we have some honest conversation about being a father, being present, and just trying to figure it all out. So if you have ADHD, this episode will make perfect sense. And if you don't, just hang on. You'll enjoy it. This is Brian. Not to bitch or complain, but just, the stuff that we've gone through as dads and that we continuously go through. In our careers and in fatherhood. Now, and you and I, we've known each other like 20 plus years, I would say. How long you been doing comedy?
25 years?
Yeah.
No, wait, right. 27 years. 20. What years? Is it 2026 now or is it 2027?
Yeah.
All right.
2026.
So 27 years I've been doing comedy.
Yeah. This, 2 weeks will be 25. So, I know we have seen a lot of crazy shit. And your son's how old?
He's 14, 15. He's 15. Once he hit the teens, once you stopped having mega birthday parties, you still have young kids? Do you have mega birthday parties?
Yeah, I mean my oldest is 25, and then my youngest turns 5 at the end of August.
Yeah, I feel like there's a space in there because my stepdaughter is 26 or 27 or 28, but
one of those
in her 20s.
Right.
And I feel like there's a gap in when people are growing up from maybe ninth grade to that mid-20s till 21. I'd say from 14 to 21, birthdays aren't big extravagant things anymore.
Right. I mean,
kid.
for us, you have a daughter. If you have a daughter, you have the quinceañera, and then that kind of, after that, it's 18 maybe, but it's more like they're doing their own shit, it's not. Yeah. But man, 15, wow, that's so crazy. I don't know why I thought he was younger.
I know. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because we're comedians and we tell these jokes. Mike Hanley's daughters are always 4, 6, and 8, right. And they're graduated college now. I think one is pregnant. And
right.
I think one of Mike Hanley's daughters is pregnant. Everybody. And
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, man.
I can't believe it. An 8-year-old pregnant daughter. But our kids don't age because to us, we always hear the bits. I hear your bits, you hear my bits. And so we picture the little kids from the bits. And then on top of that, we don't really see each other that much because we're always working. So when we do work, it's mostly just catching up and having fun and not so much how old, show me pictures of your kids. When was the last time you ever showed a picture of your kid to somebody at a comedy show? It's not something comics do.
No, no. Especially, I mean, I think that's it too. Like with guys, it's like we don't have that. Like, did you always want to be a dad? Did you always? Was that something that you pictured doing?
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah.
didn't.
I think at one, yeah. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
did.
Wow. See, I didn't. Like I just never thought I would. I think even when I was young, I was like, I'm never gonna be like my dad was a good dad and he did a lot of shit. And I was like, that's not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. Like he's way too responsible for me. But yeah, it always amazes me when I talk to different dads and like how they planned it out or if it was something in their radar. Were you with the mom? I always forget if you guys were friends. I know you guys got a great
Yeah,
relationship.
we were together, and she just showed up to my work one day and told me she was pregnant. Uh, and it was just all downhill from there. In terms of having a child and being a dad.
Right. How long did you guys?
We'll call it
How long did
uphill.
you guys? How long did you guys stay together? Like,
Uh, I think we broke up when he was about 2 or 3. Yes,
okay,
we've been separated for about 12 years now.
okay. And like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, I know from knowing you, but I know you guys have a good relationship. Was it always good, or did you have to like fuck up first and then
There was definitely
figure?
some rocky time. I mean, yeah, there was definitely some rocky times at first, and then we just kind of figured it out, and we just decided to co-parent, and that's what we did. She wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't in a relationship. We weren't in a relationship with each other, but we would still do things together for our son. Like, we went to Disney together twice,
Mhm.
as a broken family. And I want my son to have that memory of his mom and his dad at Disney, and not like I went with my mom or I went with my dad. And now that he's a little older, now that I'm in a relationship, things have shifted a little bit. We're not doing that, let's take a trip together anymore type stuff. We're not hanging out as much anymore, but that's how life goes, like that's just the
Right.
evolution of life. And my son had a hard time with it at first, and I think he still struggles with it at times. But yeah, like I mean, the way I kind of presented it to him was like, look, we had this thing going, but now we have, Michaela, my girlfriend. I'm like, we have Michaela, we have her family, we have this whole new awesome thing, like that's what we're doing now. And
Mhm.
and yeah, so life evolves. So we're not doing the co-parenting thing so much anymore in terms of like going out and having fun. Let's go bowling or to a movie. But yeah, we still have a very good relationship. We talk about the important stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, I think it's. I mean, my parents didn't. My parents got divorced when I was like 4, and I never saw them work co-parent together. And then my daughter's mother and I, we didn't do it until she was 16, and we saw such a change in 2 years. Like
Yeah.
I moved back up to closer to her, and I just pulled her aside and was like, "Listen, it doesn't matter if we like each other, but we got 2 more years to have any kind of impact." And it was like her personality came out, her grades went up. It was crazy. And then we now her so my daughter Jada, her mom had a son a month after we had my daughter,
Uh
and
huh.
we just became this big blended family where like both my baby moms were pregnant at the same time. Like and they're really tight, and I'm like involved in raising her son. It's really crazy. I know there's a lot of material there. I just haven't figured it out yet because I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
living through it. But
Yeah. And you know
so
what? It doesn't have to be material either. You know.
right,
That's another. You can just live in it. Just enjoy it. Just
yeah.
enjoy it, Darren. It's weird being on a podcast and not having to be funny.
No, I mean, I don't think you could do anything and not be funny. I mean, I'm not just saying that. Like you always have this aura about you that I was laughing writing questions down because I was like, I don't even know. Like this seems too serious of a question, and somehow he's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
twist
let's
that.
do it, dude. I got fucking. Let's do, hit me with it, Darren. Hit me with this.
Well,
Hit me with the hard hitting question.
no, well, I want to introduce because that's another thing too. Is like I forget. For me, it's comparable to when you are performing in front of a lot of people you already know. You may go right into new stuff, forgetting that there's five people there who have never seen you before. You know, like, and that's how I feel sitting down with somebody that I know, where I start talking to you as if like I'm only doing this for me and you.
Mm,
You know, and then I forget that like, did I introduce you? Did I,
you did
you know,
not.
like,
You didn't
right? I did
introduce
it.
me. And the way that you started, I'm not gonna lie, Darren. I felt like we were just already having a conversation, and I had amnesia
Yeah,
because like we were like goofing off, having fun, and then all of a sudden you're like, and then being a dad. What is it like when you're a dad? When your
right.
child
That's
looks you in the face with
right,
internal mental illness problems. And I'm like,
right.
whoa, did we start?
Oh man, you're already jumping on the mental illness. Hold on, no, I'm just trying. Um, yeah, well, that's. I mean, yeah. All right, let me try to backtrack a little bit. All right, so you've been doing comedy for 25 years, right? Did you? All
Yeah.
right, where you're at today, did you picture that when you started? The dad that you are, the podcast, the success that you've had, the running, you know, the talent portion of the club, running the club, teaching comedy, which I will talk
No.
about that. Did you picture
No,
all that?
I mean when I started comedy it was to do comedy. And it slowly evolved and it's like, all right, now I'm doing a podcast. All right, now I'm doing this thing over here. Uh, I'm doing a production company. And now I'm gonna do Lego content. And now I'm gonna do no, I didn't plan this out at all. I thought I'd just skyrocket to the top and then fate would just do its thing. But I'm waiting on fate. She ain't showing up.
Right. She didn't get the message.
She got the message. So I had, no. I just looked at where I was in comedy and what I wanted to accomplish at that time and what I could accomplish at that time, and it just kind of turned into, being the talent coordinator and teaching a comedy class, and you know, it evolves. Your
What?
life evolves.
Right, right. And so, what kind of dad did you think you were going to be compared to what you feel that you are?
Um, Hold on. I have to switch my chair. Dude, I got two chairs down here. One is just solid metal, right? Just a solid metal chair. The other one, a folding chair, also metal, but it has a cushion. And every time I in my basement, I go, oh, I'm going to sit in the blue chair, not the one with the cushion. So I needed the cushion because my ass was starting to hurt me. Um, I I thought I would be. I don't know, right? You always think you're gonna be the best dad. Like I thought I would be the best dad, and it's like you realize like you're never the best dad all the time. Like whether it's you're on the road and missing weekends or just not knowing how to handle a situation. Um, uh, yeah, no, I thought being a dad was just gonna be fun all the time. It's not fun all the time. I thought I'd be a less serious, like I'm very serious as a parent. Like
Mm.
it would be like it's shocking. Like me as Brian the comedian. Everybody knows me as Brian the comedian. If like Brian the parent is kind of like strict and stern and it's not the same type of vibe. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a lot of fun, but
Mm.
I'm a lot more strict than I thought I was going to be.
Wow, I was going to ask you about that. Like, what parts of you, comedian Brian, that you deliberately don't bring home?
I don't know. I don't think there's any of it because I have ADHD.
Hmm.
So I can mask, but I can compartmentalize my life, right? And be like, all right, I'm at my soul sucking day job and I have to act a certain way. I'm comedian Brian, I have to act a certain way. But that Brian in the middle where it's like friends and family, um, I don't think I hide it because I can't,
Mm.
you know? I mean, I can shut down, but I can't
Right.
hide it.
Right. Well, I'm watching my. I'm gonna have him on here. My younger brother, one of my brothers, he's 6 years younger than I am, and he found out at 40 that he was on the spectrum.
Uh huh.
And when he got tested, it was like the psychiatrist was like, "Yeah, you're a very like tough case because most tests wouldn't show because you mask it so well." You know,
Yeah,
and
you
his
learn
his
to adapt.
right, and his outburst is like is irrational anger. You know, like because he can't mix emotional and like facts. It's just facts. So when you come to him with some emotion with he can't even process that. So and when he's home, he seems to everyone that he's just agitated. And he told me he's like it's not that at all. It's like this is my home. This is my brain. This is how I am,
I
all the time.
completely understand that because there are times when Sweet Wonderful, that's what I call my girlfriend, Sweet Wonderful. There's times when like Sweet Wonderful will have people over, like her family, friends, and and at the end of the night she's like, You looked miserable tonight. You were miserable. I'm like, I wasn't miserable. I was just not goofy and not bouncing around. Like it's work for me to do that. It's hard for me to do that. So I totally see where your brother's coming from.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with it because I think I'm the only one in the family that actually talks to him and asks him questions, and he's an open book. He's not,
Mm.
because he's learning at it. I think he was watching The Bachelor or something, and some girl got voted off, and when she got voted off,
Was it because she was autistic?
no, no, well, I don't know.
Shannon,
To be
you're
honest with
just
you,
too good at puzzles. It's
yeah,
time for you to go.
right. I don't know. Like all I know is that like he really like him and his wife really enjoyed her and they start following her and then she went on this whole campaign of finding out later on in life that she was, on the spectrum and she was saying stuff and my brother was like, "Wait a minute. Like I'm like that." Wait a, and then he got tested. And when he got tested, the psychiatrist was like, "Yeah, like you are like so unique that." And my brother goes, "So am I like the Tom Brady of like autism?" And the psychiatrist is like, "I mean, if that's how you want to look at it." He's like, so he's still trying to process. He's got two daughters, and my family has no idea. They're just like, "Wait a minute, he wasn't always angry," because he just would go 0 to 60.
No, he
Because
was
my
just always
mom is
autistic.
emotional. All my mom is like his arch nemesis because she's all emotion.
Mm.
So it's like it fires him up because he just thinks of like, nope, this is what was said, this is this. And so it's interesting to me, and I do have questions about the ADHD because I'm actually getting a neuro test in November, and
Oh
I know,
yeah, bro.
yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Well, that's I guess we'll get into it. So I know you've built like your whole career on this chaotic ADHD brain of yours,
Uh,
and that's what you kind of answered. Like, where does with parenting, how do you become a consistent parent for your child when you got all this like thought process and the way your brain works?
I think I mask it, bro. I think it's masking.
Mm.
Like when I go into dad mode, it's dad mode. Like same thing when I used to coach wrestling and football. It's like, all right, I'm in coach mode now. And it's like, yeah, you turn that switch. Same thing with going on stage, you hit that switch. But yeah, I think I kind of mask it a little bit. 'Cause, you can't be goofy all the time. Uh, yeah, I don't swear around my son. Like I
Oh,
recently
wow.
just started swearing around my son. You know,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And growing up, like he's just never used to hear me swear. And like the other night, I was outside and we were talking about a vacation we're going on. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I swore. And he goes, oh, you just don't usually swear, you know?
Hmm.
Which is,
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, I think I mask it a little bit. Use that
Does he
masking.
under? Have you ever spoken to him about? Does he understand your ADHD?
But yeah, he knows.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
open with him about it because, like, he has to deal with it too. My girlfriend has to deal with it. People in my life have to deal with it. So,
Right.
so yeah, I do. I am pretty open about it.
Does he
Yeah.
know? Like, does he know that you smoke?
Oh, we've never talked about it. Um, it's just something we don't bring up. I think there was one year I got weed for Christmas, and it cracked my dad. Like my dad was laughing his ass off because it was my brother. He gave it to me like really on the sly. He's like, "Hey man, this is your Christmas gift," and he handed me like this jar of weed. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just looking in the bag, and he's like, "You don't put it away." And I'm like, we're adults. We're in our 30s right now. Like it's okay. It's okay. And my dad goes, "Wait, what's going on?" And I pulled. I go, "Eric gave me a jar of weed for Christmas." And my dad started laughing. So because he started laughing, my son was like, "Hey, what happened at the house?" And I go, "It was just a gift your uncle gave me." And he goes, "Yeah, but like, what is it?" I'm like, "It's medicine." And then I used ADHD as why I smoke, which is why I smoke.
Right. Right. Right.
But that was really, I
Um,
think, the only time we talked about it.
what is your relationship like with your dad? Do you have a good relationship with your dad?
It was rocky when I was a kid because he was mega strict, super 80s. He was like the dad from Wonder Years. I think that's the perfect way to describe my dad. Like just a hard hitting guy that really loved his family, you know? And that was it. But with the ADHD, and especially not being diagnosed when I was younger, I wasn't diagnosed till I was an adult. Like, I can't, like, when people are stern to me, I can't handle it,
Hmm.
So when you grow up with a stern dad, like, we're constantly butting heads growing up. So, uh, so yeah, we had a pretty rocky growing up, and then I think once my when my ex was pregnant, that's when we started to really kind of turn it around, and yeah, we have a great relationship now.
Hmm. So, just guys, what you had just said about you can't like when someone's being stern. How did you deal with like comedy in the beginning, like when you bomb? Because that's like a stern response. I feel like when a crowd just
You
or would it
don't
be if they were
bomb
like booing
yet,
you? You haven't bombed yet, right? I know.
right? No, really. I mean, uh, no, like I can't. As this is gonna sound so fucking obnoxious, but the times that I bombed were the crowd's fault. No, like I don't remember like ever bombing at a consistent level where I'm like, oh, that was a bomb, that was a bomb, that was a bomb. Maybe I just didn't realize it. I don't know. Maybe like I was just so gung ho. Plus, I was a crowd work guy coming up, so I was always in the crowd, getting the crowd all riled up. Um, my biggest bombings was like I opened for Bobby Collins. You know who Bobby Collins is?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
work with Bobby Collins. His crowd is not my crowd at all. Like it is the complete. If you were to grab people that would say, "Oh, who would hate Brian Bowden's act?" It would be Bobby Collins's people. You know. So I ate shit that night. But it's not like I can walk away going like, "Oh, what a terrible night that was." Like I thought it was hilarious. Like even in the moment, I thought it was hysterical. Because you
Right,
hit a
right.
certain point where it's like, all right, I know I'm decent. I know I'm okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I
And
feel
when you're a
that because
comedian, you're constantly in control. That's another thing. So, like, having that control of the room, having that microphone, it's like, I, like, the bombing never really bothered me because it was in my head, I was just always in control of the situation.
hmm, Yeah, I think that's. I was just telling somebody about your class actually, because and there's the crazy part, right? It's like it's not so much like, oh, I've been there, I know it. It's the respect that I have for you and the knowledge that I know that you have and how you deliver it. To me, is what a comedy class should consist of.
Thank
Like
you
when I
very
wanted to
much.
become a when I wanted to become a comedian, it was like I just worked at City Steam. I was like, I want to become a comedian. They were like, have you ever bust tables? And I was like, no. And then I was meeting comics that I thought were approachable. I was terrified to go on stage. And I met Jessica Curson, and she was like, oh, there's a comedy class in Gotham, New York, 13 weeks. So every Monday for 13 weeks, I made it down there somehow. And it was just me and six other people in front of this guy whose credit was that he was a writer for SNL. He had a good way of getting us out of our, like, I guess, fears, but I didn't learn anything but to go on stage to actually finally do it. And then throughout my career, I've seen people have a class, or I've seen people that I've never heard of have a class, and I'm like, what? I get the hustle, I do, but if you know what you're talking about, I was talking to these young comics on last Thursday night, and I was like, Brian Beaudoin has a class. I was like, I would take that class. And Caesar Strowski was like, you want to go? I'll see if he gives us a discount. We'll drive up. And I was like, yeah. I was like, because I could always learn, but from someone like you, you've been around it. You are the talent coordinator. Like you give that advice of like what it is to be on stage, how to write a joke. Anybody that I've met that's gone to your class seems more seasoned than anyone who's gone to a comedy school or a class.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I've been doing comedy 27 years, but I've been studying comedy my whole life. My grandfather used to babysit me. It was Abbott and Costello. Matter of fact, if you see my garage, it's all Abbott and Costello, The Stooges, Lucille Ball. So it's like I've watched comedy since then. I've watched it grow and adapt and change. Um, so it's like I've been doing this 27 years on stage, but man, I've been doing it for 43 years on this planet. So when people take the class, I always, the one question I ask that's caused the most stir in the class is when I ask people why something was funny. Because people need to understand their jokes, and I think that's where like a lot of comics fall short. So it's like I want people to come into the class, be able to tell a joke, be able to understand why that joke is funny, and be able to defend it. Um, for instance, there was a guy that, I don't know if I'm just rambling nonsense right now, but there was a guy that took the class and he was talking about going through a divorce, and he's going like, yeah, you're going through this divorce, and things are rocky at home with you and your wife, so you're not having sex, so you got to cheat. And it's like you're going through the divorce anyway. Eventually, you're going to cheat. So, you start cheating and you go to like this hotel. And the next thing you know, it's like you go to like the lesser hotel, because you can't go to the Ritz all the time. That's like once in a while. But now you're at a Motel 6. And now you're doing things in just a parking lot. And I'm going, no, 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 no. You do that. I don't do that. Don't say you to me. Not you. I go to the hotel. I take a step down. I'm in the parking lot now. Don't tell the audience it's you. It's I. And that guy was on stage on the graduation show, and a woman didn't like that bit. And she got up on stage and was like, I have something to say. I have something to say on behalf of women, on behalf of women. And all these women are telling her to shut the fuck up. But it's those little things that you might not pick up in another class that is going to take you a little further when you're done with mine. If
Yeah.
that's
No,
a
I mean,
little
that's.
brag type thing.
No, we're going to promote it. We're definitely going to
Yeah.
promote it. Um, I think in other interviews or conversations, I try to have some kind of format of what I think I'm gonna say. But with you, it's because I've known you too for so long. It's like it kind of goes out the window
Yeah.
because but there's so much that I like want to ask about, and I'm gonna get there obviously. because it is about, being a dad. And because I look at that, like you teaching a class to these kids, and now just finding out today, as long as I've known you, that you're this strict dad, or, like you're different. And I would have never, I would picture you just walking in, rolling up, smoking next to your kid. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, no, it's
And
like, so
right.
you
And it's
gotta pick
like,
up your
I
room.
believe
They're
you.
not going to Pokemon.
Right, right, right. It's like I believe you as a strict comic teacher, but I'm like as a dad, I'm like shit. I didn't even know that. What has having your son and being a father taught you more about yourself that like comedy never did?
Oh my God, you just blew my fucking mind away. What did being a dad teach me that comedy didn't teach me?
Teach you about yourself that comedy didn't teach you.
Ooh, that I'm selfish. I'll make it a negative. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm selfish. Yeah, there are times when I'll uh, I've put my there are times when I've put comedy first when maybe I didn't have to that weekend, you know, but I did it anyway. Um, or even looking at like the schedule and talking to my ex, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna have my son one day this week. What day is it gonna be? What's the most convenient on this day? When it doesn't even dawn on me to be like, hey, when would be the best day for you if I took him? You know.
Mm.
So yeah, I learned that I can be selfish. Because at the end of the day, you want to give your kids everything, do everything for your kids. But then there are some days where I'm like, nah, it's a me day. You know.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, wow, I could really relate to that because I feel like it's the feeling that nobody's allowed to admit. And you're being so honest about that. I said that to my wife when it seemed like when my daughter was like 3, it was just I tell anybody, I'm like, if you're in your 40s and you have a toddler, they're going to expose every flaw, every issue, every unresolved thing that you have with your partner if you're together. And I was like, it's okay to say that she changed our lives and we lost ourselves, right? We could say that, right? And as I was saying it, I was thinking of more her, right? I'm like, you could say that. I would never say that. But then as I was saying it, I was like, she did. Like, I love my life and I love my daughter. I love my family. But it changed my life completely that I wasn't ready for. And it took away myself. Like it has been a battle where I'm like, well, I'm doing a podcast. I'm
Yeah.
doing a show, and my daughter's at that age where she only associates comedy with me leaving. So if I leave, it's, oh, Dad, you have a show tonight? And right away, I'm so quick to be like, how do you think you got your toys? Like, if I don't go to this
Yeah, right.
show,
It's shit like that. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's like, I was interviewing my buddy and he was in a cookout with his family. Like his family's just walking by behind him. And I was like, I couldn't even get mad because it's a dad podcast. That's what like it would be like my daughter coming up to me right now and I'm like, get out of here. I'm doing a podcast. But
Yeah,
and like
and
that's the selfish part.
what makes it even makes it seem more selfishly, because it's not selfishly, right? Makes it seem more selfishly. It's like we work so hard in this business for so little that it's real easy for our spouse to say, you're doing your podcast. What are you even getting out of that? And it's like, right now, I'm getting a couple $100 a month out of mine. Like on a good month, it covers the podcast. And it's like, but we're working so hard to grow that and make that grow, and that's part of the battle that I think nobody really sees. I just started a Lego social media page, and it's just all Lego. I got sick of finding comedy. I got sick of watching my clips and putting up comedy clips, and in knowing what the business of comedy is now, it's like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on this Lego thing. And so I'm like literally making videos of me building Lego and editing and everything. And it takes hours. It takes, like today I built a Skeletor. It took me 3 hours to build that, from when I set up the camera, did my dumb little intro, built the thing, fixed the pieces that I messed up. It's like 3 hours of time. Start editing the video. That's 3 hours I'm away from the family. And it's like, I'm looking at it as a hobby. I'm looking at Lego the same way that my girlfriend would look at going out with her friends, or the same way somebody would look at reading a book. But it's time away. And right now, it's not lucrative because it just started. We have to build up to get lucrative, if that even happens. And it's a big if.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
if anybody wants to support, they can go to basementbricks.com.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This podcast, this is something that I think I've sat on for a really long time, and I finally went into it because I didn't look at it with like, all right, it's gonna come this, it's gonna do this, I really enjoyed doing it, but just getting out the first episode on time. I remember like scheduling it and coming into the room, and my wife was like, how do you feel? And I'm like, this is a 6-day job.
Yeah.
And I don't live in a family or a life that is going to allow that. So I have to learn to balance everything: fatherhood, being a husband, work, and comedy, and this. And I want this. Like I'm trying to build this room on Thursday nights. And it's like those two things are the things that I'm the most passionate about right now. But it takes work. Like I'm like, oh shit, I didn't promote for the show this Thursday because I was thinking about this Friday and Saturday. I was thinking about setting this up, and it's a lot. And you said it best. When you don't have that, to show, look, I did all that and look what I got out of it right away. It is a hard sell sometimes.
Yeah. But then there are those days where it's like, like when I first started, when I first started the Lego, I presented it like a business plan to my wife. I'm like, all right, honey, I almost made a PowerPoint. Like, here's what I'm going to do. Click, click. It's going to be a focus on Lego videos. Click, click. But in order to support the page, we're going to have to flip Lego and resell. Click, click. That's where this comes into play. Click, click. I'm going to make videos about the boxes of the Legos I sell to subsidize all of the times that I don't have regular content building. Click, click. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, I laid it out. And I think if I didn't do that, she would be a lot more hesitant for me turning the basement into a Lego store as well as a Lego museum. But because I was so, she knows I'm passionate about it. She knows that it's like something that I do anyway. Might as well film it, see what happens. And the fact that I had a well thought out plan and wasn't like, all right, I want to build Lego now. Because like there's times I've walked in the house and been like, I'm going to be a painter. I watched that Willem Dafoe movie before I went to bed last night, and now I'm going to paint water lilies, Look, I got all these canvases, honey. I got 80 billion paints. I've been watching Bob Ross before I go to bed. I can do it.
Yeah. No, I've done so much where I go into it and it fades.
That's ADHD, baby. You learn a task, you master that task, you're on to the next.
Yeah. So, all right. So going back to the ADHD, right? So you did an episode about EMDR, right? You talked about. So my therapist has suggested that for me, and I truly don't know a lot about it. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Let me get some information too, because I'm willing. My therapist actually said to me one session, like 4 years in, she's like, I got to say, like, I'm thoroughly entertained by your life. And I was like, I don't think you're allowed to say that, but I like it. Right, I'm with it. Like, but
I'm
at that
not
point,
paying by the copay.
well, we like at that point, like that's the relationship I have and
Yeah.
I would want. But she had suggested it. I was like, yeah, I'll try anything. I'm down for. She suggested that, and there was another one. I think similar to EMDR. Is there two?
Electric shock therapy?
No. Wait, is that the thing with the lights, or is that
Uh,
EMDR?
no, EMDR is you have these two vibrating paddles in your hands.
Okay.
They might do something with lights. I don't know what the other name is though. But it's not electric shock therapy. I think they did away with that.
Okay. So what actually happens during an EMDR session?
All right, so it's to help you deal with trauma, right? That's the whole idea. So you have this trauma that you went through, and you basically live that trauma over and over and over and over again. And the person directing you will take you through it. And as you're being guided, like they'll guide you almost like a meditation type deal. These things in your hands are just vibrating back and forth. So it'll be like zzz, 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 right, and it's going back and forth between each hand. So it slowly puts you in like this tree. You know when you take mushrooms? You ever taken mushrooms?
Yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
Right before you trip, like right before you trip, you have like that. All right, I think I'm going to trip in a little bit feeling. That's what it feels like by the end of it. Like you're in this trance. But, and I say you relive the trauma over and over and over again. You do. But like when I went through it, it's like I really learned how to deal with it. You have this vision in your head, no matter what it is, your whole life. Then you go through this therapy, and it's almost like at the end of it, you're hypnotized to be like, all right, it was fucked up, but I think I'm cool with it now. I'm not cool with it, but I can live with this, you know?
Now, with ADHD, is it different because, like, does your brain fight it more while it's happening?
No, because you got the vibrating things in your hands.
Oh,
You're
is that for everybody, or that's because you have ADHD?
No, that's for everybody. But that's
Okay.
what it. That's it. You find ways to trick your brain with ADHD when you have it. When you learn how your brain works, you find ways to deal with it.
And when you did it, you said something about it changing your birthday, or was that am I right with that?
But yeah, I did it for my birthday because I couldn't accept my birthday for some reason. Like, and I didn't even know what happened with my birthday. But we just started going through birthdays and like, man, it's crazy to like talk about it because it can't be explained, right? Because at one point they'll say like, all right, what are you thinking? And I'm like, I'm thinking about shoving that piece of cake up Sharon's ass. And they're like, all right, let's go back to the beginning. Where are you? Bzzz, and then things start, right? And then it's like, what are you thinking? It's like, I'm thinking, why did Lego come out with an Incredible Hulk mech when the Incredible Hulk doesn't need a mech? And they're like, all right, let's go back to the beginning. Right? And you think about these crazy fucking things. Yeah. I wish I had more trauma so I could do more of this.
Sorry.
I wish.
I am so interested in it. I'm interested in my neuro tests. When I got sober, they put me on medication. They put me on Wellbutrin because I was a month sober, right? And then I went for my physical, and I'm answering the questionnaire, right? But I'm answering it like somebody who just stopped drugging and drinking. Like, are you depressed? I'm like, yeah, I can't get out of bed. So they put me on Wellbutrin, and I was like, I don't want to know what this is gonna do because I'm the type of addict where I'll chase it. So they kept upping it, and I didn't really feel a difference. And then all of a sudden, they hit me at the max. And I went through this episode like for a month where I was like on stage, and I didn't feel myself at all. Like it was beyond going through the motions. I was just like, I hated everything. I was forgetting shit. And then Danielle, who we were going to a show out in Rhode Island, and she's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, because no one's gonna say it. She's like, you're not depressed. You just have a coping problem. You can't cope with life, so you want something to fix it for you. And I think it's something that I was thinking the whole entire time. I was like, yeah, you're right. And I just stopped cold turkey. And I never felt better. And then going through a lot of issues, the doctors were like, oh, you might have ADHD. You seem like a candidate for it. So they were going to put me in Adderall, which I abused in my addiction. So I was terrified. Like they put me on Adderall, and I was terrified because I associated it with something else.
Yeah.
And then
were you on extended release?
Yeah, I was, because I used to abuse instant, and they put me in. It's extended. I was at like 20 milligrams, and I already knew that it wasn't helping. Mm-hmm. So I knew the next step would have been the 30, and then instant. Okay. And then I was like, right. Then the addict in me is going to come out. So then they got me on Vinase, and they were going to go up on that, and I got this doctor who was like, have you ever had a neuro test? And I was like, no. When can I get that? And the only availability they had was in November. So I'm pretty excited about it to find out.
Dude, you're going to love it. So many games, a lot of fun. And then at one point they'll try to trick you. I've taken it a couple times. They'll try to trick you, try to trick your ass. They'll tell you a story, right? And then they'll be like, all right, we're going to move on to the next thing, right? And then you do the next thing. And then you do another thing, then you do another thing, and then it'll be like, all right, hey, that story that I told you before, where was the lady going with the basket? And you're like, what the fuck? No, that was before, lady. That was in my first report when I got mad at the questions.
Oh, yes, I'm interested in seeing, I'm down for the EMDR. So do you go to therapy regularly?
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing my counselor, Rob. We've been seeing each other for about 15, 16 years now. 16 years. Maybe even 17. Ooh. You know what? It's been like 20 years. Wow. It's been a while. I've seen this motherfucker for a long time. He does a shitty job because if I'm not fixed,
Right. Right.
No, I've been going regularly. Sometimes it's twice a month. Sometimes it's once a month. Sometimes it's once a quarter. But I go when I need it. I've been on a pretty good clip.
Yeah, I go every other week, and I check in weekly, just with at least a text to let her know where I'm at. How do you feel therapy has changed you as a parent, though? Do you feel like it's helped you?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's good at like grounding me and like bringing me back in and, what I should do as a parent. And, like there was this one time my ex just said, oh, my son was going to the counselor. And she's like, yeah, he's going to the counselor. And my counselor was like, so what's your son's counselor's name? And I'm like, I don't know. And then like I instantly feel like a bad parent because that's something every parent should know, right? You should know every doctor that your kid goes to. I don't. And that's when I feel like I fail as a parent. I feel like I'm being selfish because it's like I don't know that information. And then it comes to find out like this is just a meds lady. It's not like a real counselor. She's just prescribing meds, but he's not getting the counseling to go with the meds. So it's like that little thing where he's like, what's her name? I was able to like trigger it and find out like not just like the name of the person, but like why that's important and how bad I felt for not knowing the name. And then, how I could be a better parent after that.
I love that. So I do have a segment called
Flash Round. Is this the lightning round where the points are doubled and the questions are harder?
That is. It's the don't be a hero part where I just ask you a bunch of questions. You answer it however you want.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Dad, were you a pothead when you were younger?
Yes.
What's your answer?
Yes, I was. Oh wait, are you the child? Is this a role play thing?
However you take the question.
Well,
Dad, were you
I
a
mean,
pothead when you were
is
younger?
this? Are you my son right now?
I mean, I would think so if I'm saying dad.
All right, I didn't hear that part of the question. All right, I was being funny. All right.
Okay. How many times have you walked into a room and completely forgot where the fuck you were at?
That happens like where I'm at, like what I needed or where I'm at.
What you went in there for?
Oh, all the time. That happened before we recorded because I don't know if I needed headphones. And then I was just standing in the kitchen and I started eating a Slim Jim. And I got to do the podcast. And then I came back down to the basement. And then I said, I don't feel right. And then I went back upstairs to the garage because then I remembered I needed the headphones. And then when I was there, I saw this Chewbacca minifigure. So I put that in my pocket, left, came down here, went back upstairs to get the headphones. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
done it.
I've done it a couple times.
I did it twice before we recorded.
All right.
It's a thing I do.
Do you think it's our age or do you think it's ADHD? Or just being a
That's
pothead?
ADHD because I've done it my whole life.
Okay. All right. Your son gets diagnosed with ADHD. Your first thought, poor kid, or welcome to the team?
Welcome to the team. He's on the team. He's on the
That's what you.
team.
That's what you said to me as soon as I said I was getting a neuro test. I already knew the question I was asking you, and I was like, "Well, there goes that answer." I already knew that was coming. All right, your son's first stand-up set bombs horribly. Fatherly encouragement or actual notes?
Actual notes. That's where you know what? That's where I kind of fail as a dad because that's like my son is on the high school tennis team and Coach Brian comes out every once in a while and I'm like, come on, get ready. You got to get ready. Get ready, you know? And then one day after a match, he's like, can you stop telling me to be ready? Can you just let me play tennis? And I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I could do that. You know?
Yeah, I talked about that with actually JJ, and how I'm not like my daughter looks like she's gonna be she could become a runner, and my whole family are runners.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know how to encourage that in a fun way. I'm ready to get her out there and start training, and it's something I'm definitely gonna have to work on because when I did it with my oldest, I think I scared her away from stuff. So, what's something his mom is 100% better at as a parent than you?
Um, this is gonna sound bad, but carting him around. She'll cart him around everywhere. She'll take him to Pokemon 4 or 5 nights a week. She will make sure he is in the place that he needs to be at. Uh, she definitely revolves her life around him. And that's, not to say that I don't, but it's just in a different way.
Okay. What's something your son doesn't know you sacrificed for him?
Everything. What? I'll get the fucking everything. I'm holding up a Thanos glove. Everything.
No, it's video. It's video.
Oh.
All right.
Everything. I'm breaking this thing so hard.
Is that a Lego?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got all the fingers. You can put all the fingers up. I like to just whenever I build something out of Lego that can have a middle finger sticking up, by golly, that's the one that's gonna be up. No ifs, ands, or butsies about it.
Okay. Your son gets one last voicemail from dad. What does yours say?
What, like I'm dead?
You're gone tomorrow.
I don't like this question. It's making me sad. That's a sad question. I'm gone tomorrow. That's like fucking the special forces where they make people write the notes before they go on their final mission to their family in case they die. Hey, Brian, we've been having fun. You showing me, oh, that's a cool Lego collection. Wow. Hey, when you're dead, what's the last thing you want your son to hear you say? That'll be a good one. Pick up your
I mean,
room. That's probably what it'll say. Call me back. Because it's a voicemail. I'm not. Is it a suicide? Because if it is, then I know what to say in the voicemail. It's a little different. But if it's not, and he just gets the voicemail, it's probably just me going like, "Oh, hey, I know you're at Pokemon tonight. Just wanted to say hi. Give me a call back, all right?" And then like that'll probably be the last voicemail he gets because I don't know I'm gonna die. But if I knew,
that's
I'd
such a
probably say
great
like it's not your fault.
that's such a great comedic ADHD answer. Oh man, that's good. All right.
You know what? I
I'll get
might make
silly.
that a bit. That's a good bit.
It's all yours.
Thank
Um,
you.
I would be so mad if I see. I'm gonna be so mad if I see him. Like,
Gotta get
like
applause. It's one of them where I
yeah.
fucking take a bow, twirl the hand.
I see a clip. People are like, "Ah, it's the funniest bit ever." And I'm just
Oh
like,
man,
"Oh man." All right. Comedy, weed, or Legos? One has to go forever. Which one?
comedy.
Does building Legos quiet your brain?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it hard for you to find something that actually starts everything else off, shuts everything else off?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a symptom. Uh, it's choice paralysis, and it's just the idea of doing something where you just feel stuck with ADHD. That yeah. So sometimes it's really hard to find something to get into. Like there was a day I was just sitting down here and I'm like, oh, I need to build something to make a video, and it's like I don't know what to build. But it's like being in a video store, or like remember back in the day when cable was huge, and your dad was like, "There's 35 million stations. You can't find something to watch." It's like, nah, I have a disability.
Speaking of your dad, this is the last two questions. And I'm already
What
like, man,
voicemail do I want my dad to leave me before he dies?
right now, all right. What did you need from your dad when you were your son's age that you make damn sure that your son has from you?
Love.
Okay?
No, but like overall, like it would be love, but it's like that compassion. Like my dad didn't have any compassion. Like there was no compassion. It was just like you're doing this, do this. You're doing this wrong. This was fine. Like my dad said he was proud of me once, maybe no, twice. Twice he said he was proud of me when I was growing up. And it's like I make sure my son hears that all the fucking time. I always tell him I'm proud of him. You know, so it's like I'll tell him more times in a day I'm proud of him than I've heard my entire life, and my son will never know that. I think that was one of your other questions before the if I die, but yeah, that's something he'll never know is like how proud and loved he is. Like he'll just never realize that.
Mm. Does your dad have show more compassion as a grandfather?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Who's this guy?
My daughter was like, Grampy has no rules. And I'm like, the fuck he doesn't. Like my whole life was like boot camp. What are you talking about? I'm still grounded. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, all right. We'll leave on a high note.
I'm,
You're
oh,
not dead.
I wanted to tell you this. You would have had a whole other slew of questions. I'm a grandfather, not my
What?
son. My stepdaughter had her baby. So
Oh,
yeah, I've been a grandfather for 5 months. I already got a mug that says "World's Greatest Grandfather."
how does that feel?
It feels weird.
Yeah.
It would feel a lot different if it was like my own child. I mean, I love my stepdaughter; she's the greatest. But it's like I love her baby. I love her. I love the family. But I guess it's not going to be. It can't be the same feeling as if it's your actual child that has the baby. But man, yeah, it's great. I'm a fun grandpa.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have been a whole nother hour of a show.
yeah.
This isn't like you're dead, but this is just 20 years from now, right?
Okay,
So
so I'm
your
dead.
son's 35. He's sitting with people, and he's talking about you
Hmm.
as a dad. What's the one thing that he says instantly?
That I was fun.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm fun.
I love that. I love that. So you want to promote? You got to promote Basement Bricks.
Yeah, Basement Bricks. It's just a lot of comedy Lego content. Uh, Mostly, yeah, that's what it is. Just comedy Lego content. I build stuff. I buy used sets off of Facebook Marketplace and see if all the pieces are there. Uh, I go to thrift stores and do unboxing videos. I talk about how much I annoy the staff at the Lego store because they have to talk to you, right? I'm very antisocial. Like I'm very antisocial. And when I go to that Lego store, man, does does small talk shine? Like I'm just, like I say, I'm anti. Not in a negative way. It's just not how I'm built. I'm not the type of person to be around 1,000 people, which is crazy because we're comics, right? Like that's what we would love. We would love to be around 1,000 people with a microphone talking, but to go from conversation to conversation and hear about other people's shit, that is exhausting to me. Uh,
I hate it.
but but yeah,
I
Lego store, I will trap a worker. We'll
when you get it off Marketplace and you have to find out if all the pieces are there. What happens when they're not? That's got to drive you crazy.
There's a lot to it, Darren. I have about 1 million Lego pieces in my garage. I have an obnoxious amount of Lego. I have a lot of like bulk Lego, and so if I don't have a piece, I can find it there, or depending on the set, I can order it. Uh,
Oh, wow.
yeah, like I had the Disney camera. I bought a huge lot. I bought like 10 sets. One of them was this Disney camera. Uh, some of the lots were sealed, some of the lots were used, some of the lots had all the pieces, some of them didn't. The camera was missing a piece, and so I ordered the piece, and it doubled the value of the camera.
Nice. That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Mango, I really appreciate you being on here.
It was a pleasure being on. It was so nice talking to you.
Yeah, bro. I hope we
Yeah.
get to perform together soon.
Yeah.
It's
And
always a
if
good
I
time.
and if I die before
I'm gonna keep asking the question. I don't
it's
care.
a great question. Hey, if you're gone tomorrow, I just want to tell everybody listening, thanks for sticking it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Unlike
Well,
me, because I'm dead, right? Because
well, I'll let you know when it's gonna be up, and I'll tag you and stuff like that. Probably be like 2 weeks.
I love it. I love
All
you.
right. All right, man. I love you too, bro.